Hello kings and queens, welcome back to my channel. So in this video you're going to see me do an amazing ombre set that turned out awesome. I've already applied my tips, cut and shape. I am applying my first coat of primer, and then I'm going to go back and apply my second coat of primer after I lay the white, because I feel like the nails stick better when the primer is wet. Sometimes when the nails are too dry, it doesn't allow the acrylic to really attach to the nail. So I'm going in with my white, and I'm going to do it kind of thick to make sure that I'm getting the correct coverage and making sure that free edge is covered. I put my first ball on the free edge of the nail, which is basically where the tip meets the nail, and I'm going to take my brush and lightly brush down without pulling the acrylic off. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's also called feathering. So you want to do it very lightly, and then I'm taking my brush and getting that excess white off the bottom of the nail. If you watch really closely, it's so easy. I put my first bead on, and then I take my brush and slide it down the sides, because that helps guide the acrylic to fully cover the whole tip. I'm going to go back with a little more white, and I'm going to put it on top of my first bead, just so that I have that support already built in. Make sure that when you are applying your white, I use a milky white color only because I feel like it is easily able to be blended with any color, any pink, yellow, green, whatever. Sometimes when you use the bright whites, it's hard to cover that, or it takes more time to blend. So it's really just up to you and up to the customer. None of my customers have an issue with the milky white because they can still tell it's white. But you want to be very light with the hand. You don't want to pull the acrylic off, and you just want to really just feather and be very smooth. I wanted to point something out real quick. If you guys notice, I'm using different tips. I really like these tips better for coffin and stiletto. I found these tips on eBay. I literally just searched in natural nail tips, and I bought them for, I believe, $8 to $10 for 500, and I've been using them ever since. They have clear, and they have natural, and they have French, but I like the clear and the natural better for different things. Doing nails is pretty much like trial and error. In order for you to know what works best for you and your customers, you have to try different things. I love trying nail tips because I like to go for the perfect shape. These tips are thick, they don't break easily, they have a natural curve to them, and they are wide, which is amazing. A lot of my customers have wide nails, so in order for me to really cover from corner to corner, I need a wider tip. I really like these nails. I really like how sturdy they are. I also like to use different tips for different things, and I think that's why I have so many wide variety. So like for short tips, I use basic tips that I can get from my local supply store, because if they're short and square, short and square, short and square. So But for my long nails, I always try to get something that's sturdy, something that is going to promote a good shape so I don't have to file so much. And these tips really, really, really did the trick. So yeah, I'll try to link something below if I can. If not, I'll give you guys the tips to find them on eBay and maybe Amazon. Alright guys, so I'm going in with my second coat of primer, and then I'm going to go in with this amazing glitter pink that I made. I actually made this a few months back, but I can tell you guys what I used. I used a mix of P3 by Tammy Taylor and let me see, C&D's Intense Pink. I use a lot of Young Nails, Tammy Taylor, and C&D. So for the pink, I'm going in with my first bead right on top of the free edge where I put the white. I do that because it allows me to make sure that the blending is correct and there's not like this harsh line from white to pink. Sometimes I'll add extra beads if I see that the glitter is not really faded down enough. But you really want that. The key for ombre is to have that first bead on top of the white because you will at least have some coverage in the color. You never want to put it right at the cuticle because sometimes when you blend it down, it won't fully cover the white to blend into or to in the like the change in the color. But this pink was amazing. Oh, and in the pink, I love making glitter mixes, and I got the glitter. The glitter is literally a white glitter that I got from Joann Fabrics. It's kind of like, not a holographic, but it's kind of like an opal glitter that's just kind of clear and white. But I put that in there with the pink, and it turned out amazing. So yeah, just really watch and make sure that first bead is right on top of that white, and because you want to make sure you're securing the thickness so that the nails are not breaking and snapping off. That's another reason why I put it on top of the white, just to ensure that I'm really making sure that the nails are secure and sturdy. After I have applied my pink, I'm going in with my nail files from Sally Beauty. I did speed this up just because you guys have seen how I file. If you want more in-depth video on my filing, just let me know. But when you are filing the sides of the nail, you should make sure that the file is straight in the shape that you want it to be. If you want more of a coffin look, your file should be brought in just a little bit to give it a more tapered look. Also, a tip for ombre, this didn't do it as bad, but normally for certain colors I cap my blended color, so like the pink, I will cap it with clear acrylic. But for here, I applied it kind of thick, so I didn't really need to cap, so even if I did file, I wasn't going to file away the glitter. But you want to make sure that when you're filing, you are taking your file and bringing it completely up from the free edge to the tip. You never want to just file the tip of the nail because then it won't be completely blended on the sides. A lot of you guys were still asking, why do I file the tops of the nails by hand? It's basically just to give the nails a tapered look and to make sure that I'm visually making sure everything is blended and even. After I have filed with the hand file, I'm going in with my electric file, and I'm going to blend the nails from top to bottom, going over the sides, underneath to make sure there's no excess acrylic, and I'm also going to go around the cuticle area. This is something that takes a lot of practice and patience. You want to make sure that when you are filing around the cuticle area that you are being very patient and you are looking very closely at what you're doing. Sometimes when it comes to this, I move very slow. Sometimes if they're not bad, I move very quickly. So it really just depends. But you really want to watch because the drill bit that I have is kind of sharp. So you want to make sure that you're being very, very careful, and you want to make sure that you don't nick or cut your customer. I'm taking the middle of my drill bit and I am smoothing the free edge of the nail first, and then I go back and check the sides and underneath the nail and around to the cuticle. When you are filing the cuticle, you kind of want to make a slight indent from the cuticle to the acrylic. Now, I'm not saying you want to take your drill bit and you want to file so deep that you are cutting your customer, but when you put your finger on the cuticle area, there should be a slight space, almost like 1/3 away from the cuticle. That is how it should be, and it will prevent lifting. You want to make sure when you go around that cuticle, you're removing any of that extra skin that you might have missed, and you want to make sure that you're debulking the acrylic that was applied as well. I also wanted to point something very important out. A lot of people ask, how do I get my customers' nails so curved? Yes, tips do matter. Some tips come more flat, like the Eden tips, then other tips like the L'Amour clear tips are more curved, but it also depends on the customer's natural nail. This customer in particular, her nail beds curved a lot naturally, so when I applied the tip, it just kind of curved with it, if that makes sense. After I file with my hand drill, with my electric file, I'm gonna go in and buff. I don't like to buff completely smooth, just enough to make sure there's no ridges from me using the electric file and getting any excess nail tip or anything that was under the nail gone. You guys know, I believe that if the nail is a little more rough, it allows the gel to stick better. So I'm not completely smoothing. I'm just getting rid of any excess pricklies or anything that's not supposed to be on a nail. After I do my buffing, I'm going to remove all the dust from my customer's hands. Normally for a fresh set, I just dust with my brushes and then I wipe down with an alcohol wipe and paper towel. Sometimes if there is a lot of stuff sticking to their nail because they were sweating or anything, I just have them go rinse very well with just water. But you never want to put oil before you apply gel or anything like that because it will not stick well at all. After I have cleansed the nails, I am going in with my gelish Top It Off for that awesome shine. The best thing about colored acrylic is the fact that after you apply it and file it, it is completely dried. Same with gel in a way, but I feel like colored acrylic is so much more easier because you don't have to really worry about it chipping or anything like that. Once you apply it, that's it. The gel top coat that I use is very shiny, it lasts a very long time, and it doesn't chip very easily either. After I apply my gel top coat, I'm going to cleanse it down with alcohol because gelish top coats are, they dry by the LED light, but they are sticky after, so you have to remove that sticky layer. Alright guys, I really hope you liked this video. If you did, of course, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave your feedback in the comments below. Also guys, I'm trying to hit a goal of 200 subscribers by the end of February. If you could, do me a favor, share. Leave your feedback as well. Don't forget, glitter makes everything better, so keep shining. Have a good one guys. See you later.